I was in business for over 40 years, and as on my journey, initially it was, hey, if I could just pay the rent, can I make a little money? And as I got the business going and started looking around, I started noticing some businesses doing better than others. And the thing that excited me always was I didn't have to win and be the best, but I wanted to know what the best were doing. And was there a chance, if I knew more about them, I could do better? And I found that there's truth to that. So as I look at the structure of a business that I more and more came comfortable with, there was 4 parts. The first part being the people side. And people isn't, it's not just about the employee, but it is first and foremost, probably is the most important of every business is their employees. And that being said, is that we're going to treat each other with dignity. The boss to the employee to the fellow employees, there's going to be dignity. There's no second-class citizens here. We're all in this together. Okay, that being said, and let's take this a step further. How about our employees amongst each other, and then how about with the customer? Same thing, dignity. We're going to treat them with dignity. How about the suppliers? Yes, and the service people. Anyone who interacts with our company, we want to get to the point that they all get treated with dignity. Okay, so that's the first pillar. The second pillar is when I'd get around these well-run companies, it seemed like everyone had a purpose. Everyone knew what they had to do. Now, how does that all come about? Well, there's an expression of using solidarity, is that we all have a mission in mind for the company, and that's our path. We are on that, and we're all in it together. And that being said, so when people say, well, why is that important? Well, what's important about that is that the boss can't be there watching everything all the time. But if we are all working together and someone has a little bit of a problem, as we're all in this together, we're helping each other all the way from interacting to the point of that we even go so far as to critique each other because we want the best. We sign up for what the mission is. Let's do that. So solidarity is so important, and you see that in well-run companies. Everyone's on the same page. So important. So the third part that shows up in a well-run company is subsidiarity. Subsidiarity, kind of the definition of that is having decisions made at the lowest level that we have the competence. The person has to be competent to have that authority and responsibility, and that's what that's all about. Now, people say, well, why is that important? Well, I don't know if you think about it, but if in our lifetime, so often, if we were given some responsibility, that made us feel better than just showing up and the boss telling you what to do all the time. Now we're defining what your responsibility is, and pretty soon you take pride in that, and whether it's looking after a piece of equipment or making sure that the time elements are happening. You tell someone something's going to be done at 3 o'clock. Someone's in charge of watching to make sure that gets done. And that can be at the lowest level or wherever level you want. But that is what subsidiarity is all about. Decisions are being handled by people other than the boss. And we're trying to push that as far down as possible. And the further we go, the other thing that this does, it eliminates middle management. You don't need someone telling you what to do when you know what your job is. And it could be a small job or a big job, but we know it, and we resent it for certain reasons later on. When we're getting into the fourth point, is that we're spending money on something we don't need. We don't need someone walking around drinking coffee telling us what to do. That's part of decision making at the lowest level. Okay, the fourth thing that kind of seems to be at times the issue that really takes it to another level. And that being said, so all of a sudden now you're doing you're treating people well. You're doing it. The second thing is we know what the mission is, and third is we're making decisions at all levels on a timely manner and a responsible manner. Now, the company's profitable, which is important that those first three are happening, or you'll not get the profitability you'd like to have. But we have decent profits, and we say, okay, we're going to share with everybody gets a share of the profits. Sure, we got to take care of the stockholder who put the money up to run the company or put it together, and we got to have money to help the company grow. But beyond that, that extra should be shared in a well-run company with all the employees, and that should go so far as to being defined. And I say that should be. Very few people do it to all, and I'm not picking on anybody, but that's just the way it is. But I found a company that I watched do this. Their results were double, let me repeat that, double of what a well-run company was in our industry. And to give you an idea, 8 points bottom line, if you want to be particular, this company made 15. Now, what they did is gave half the profits away back. They didn't give it away. They gave it to good people. Everybody was included in that. And if you look at it, they were back to the profits for the owner at that point, who got half the profits, were as good. And all his employees are at another level because of what they got from the share of the profits. So those are the 4 points that really I found in our industry especially, and I got a chance to implement these same things that I learned out west. Those 4 points were being done, and wow,